So this is Marketplace Chiropractic Wellness Center, and I am a wellness doctor. Therefore, we render wellness care. Now, this is a term that is misunderstood in our society because the term is misused. Let me tell you what wellness care is not. Wellness care is not pap smears and mammograms and prostate checks. At best, those are early detection, so they can find something and do surgery or do drugs to try to alleviate the disease that's already present. In our way of thinking, we don't want to treat diseases that already exist. We'd rather prevent them and focus on expressing the health and wellness of the body, not that disease and sickness mindset. So here's my definition of wellness care. Wellness care is the removal of toxicities and interferences to, and the supplying of sufficient raw materials to, the innate genetic intelligence of homeostasis. So let's break that down. We have three major categories that support wellness: how we think, how we move, how we eat. And we can have stresses in all of those realms, biochemically, mental and emotionally, and of course physically. We have good stress and we have bad stress. So from a wellness care model, we're going to look at those three categories, and then we're going to explore what are we toxic in, and if we're toxic in something, we need to purify it. What are we deficient in, and if we're deficient in something, then we need to add that in a sufficient quantity. And we're going to do this not haphazardly, but based on what our innate genetic programming requires to bring homeostasis or balance to all parts of the body, all parts of the being. So, for example, how we think, our social and mental interactions. We can be toxic in bad relationships. We can be deficient in love. We can be toxic in harboring bad feelings for another individual or even ourselves, and that makes us maybe deficient in forgiveness and harmonious thoughts and tranquility in our life. We can be toxic in vertebral subluxation, toxic in our sedentary lifestyle of sitting too much, toxic in a lack of physical expression in our body. And so we can be deficient in movement. We have a movement deficiency syndrome. We might need more exercise. We're deficient in the exercise that is required for our genetic balance and homeostasis. We can be toxic in adverse chemicals, certainly. We live in toxic soup. Our environment is badly polluted. The water of the ocean, the water of our lakes and streams can be polluted. The air can be polluted. The food is full of additives. It's full of chemicals. Plants are full of herbicides and pesticides. The meat that we eat is often full of chemicals, antibiotics, and hormones. So we have a lot of toxicities. So we need to add the proper nutrients in sufficient quantities. And there are things that we're innately designed for: whole foods, plant-based diet, omega-3s. We can be toxic in omega-6s, deficient in omega-3s, and they compete with one another in the body. There should be a one-to-one relationship, but so often we're out of balance. And so if we need to add the proper omega-3 as an example, we have to make sure that we're getting something that is not only sufficient, but also pure and non-toxic, because so many of the supplements out there are toxic in their own right. Multivitamins tend to have so many toxicities associated with them, and that's why we make different recommendations within Marketplace Chiropractic Wellness Center. So again, our mantra: be fit, eat right, think well, get adjusted, because we can be deficient in proper nerve expression. The expression of the innate intelligence of the body can be compromised due to the vertebral subluxation complex. So at Marketplace Chiropractic Wellness Center, we want to focus on allowing you to receive the wellness care that you deserve. And we're going to define wellness care again: the removal of toxicities and interferences to, and the supplying of sufficient raw materials to, the innate genetic intelligence of homeostasis. Our goal is to create wellness in your life And we do that by operating with a wellness care model of health care. We don't focus on sickness care. Again, we focus on health and wellness.